A relatively obscure African warlord has achieved worldwide fame thanks to an enormously popular internet campaign calling for his capture. In recent days, a video featuring Ugandan rebel leader Joseph Kony claims his messianic cult has abducted and abused thousands of children and their families. But whether celebrity endorsements and retweets will succeed in ending his brutal 26-year campaign is another matter. Hamish Fitzsimmons reports.
In the last few days, social media feeds have been dominated by talk of a previously obscure African militia leader named Joseph Kony. Kony leads the Lord's Resistance Army in northern Uganda and is one of the world's most wanted fugitives. So far, he's eluded all attempts to end his war against government rule.
When we talk about the LRA, if you talk to any Ugandan, this is the most feared group in Uganda because of the methods they used. You know, when you realize you're losing ground, you have to inflict fear in the people. And they used quite the most brutal methods, like killing people. They raped women. They forced children to be child soldiers. They forced women to become their wives in the bush.
Over 26 years, Kony's messianic cult is believed to have abducted thousands of children and, it's claimed, often murdered their families.
Turning the girls into sex slaves and the boys into child soldiers.
Bringing Joseph Kony to justice has proved difficult. Last year, President Obama sent US Special Forces to Uganda, who so far haven't had any more luck than Ugandan forces in capturing or killing the rebel leader.
We worried the rebel, when they raise us again, then they will kill us.
On Wednesday, another tack was tried. A half-hour video was posted pushing a campaign to bring him to justice. It had millions of views within hours and dominated social media feeds. But some commentators caution against online trials.
Is it a good channel for deciding what happens to those who are presumed to be guilty of committing atrocities? I don't think that you can subject this to the court of public opinion and resolve it satisfactorily.
The video was made by an organisation called Invisible Children, which describes itself as an advocacy group for children press-ganged into service in the conflict in northern Uganda. Invisible Children has been criticised as lacking financial transparency by monitor organisations, and its push for a military force to capture or kill Kony has also been questioned.
What we need is a concerted effort by the countries of the region with outside support to capture Joseph Kony, but also to protect the civilians who are at risk from reprisals. What we don't need is to create more war.
But for many in the more prosperous regions of Uganda, the LRA and Joseph Kony isn't a major issue.
I recent visit to Uganda didn't reflect that this is a matter on the top of heads of most people. But definitely international, there are questions of atrocities, there are questions of terrorism, there are questions that everybody is asking in regard to what to do with Kony, because he's doing things that are against human rights.
Dr. Apollo Nsibuga-Kyobe returned from Uganda in February and says the existence of the LRA is partly a result of the inequity between the north and south of Uganda.
It's basically a question of the distribution of political and economic resources, where the south took more of the economic and the political, and the north took less.
Many prominent people have endorsed or retweeted links to the Kony video. The Invisible Children group defends targeting celebrities to promote its message.
We targeted specific culture makers that we believe have huge platforms to reach out to people. And it's not that their voice is more important than anyone else's, but it's that they have a huge platform.
The campaign has been successful in making Kony the talk of the internet. But for now, no one knows if simply retweeting against violence will be effective. Hamish Fitzsimmons, Lateline.